just take a moment to appreciate how sick we are in these outfits?
Yeah. I'm gonna take this from you. This is mine now. I traded you for the earrings.
But you're not gonna wear this anywhere.
Yeah, I wear this every day of my life.
Are you serious?
No. I mean, I would if
what?
If I was a rapper, I would.
You are a rapper. You're anything you want to be.
True. We go to work like this.
Yeah, it's a perfect place to wear it. It's a perfect place to wear it. You work on Granville Street, it's like anything goes there.
It gives me one to do this, you know?
Yeah. It's kind of like being a squid. A dripped out squid.
How is this a squid?
What do you mean? It's like tentacles. Like you're a dripped out squid.
An octopus on my head.
You know the jellyfish? Actually, no, jellyfish. You know the jellyfish from Shark Tales?
Yeah.
That's you. But instead of being Rastas, you're a fucking rapper. You're welcome, Pixar. New character unlocked. Welcome back to my little sanctuary on the internet. I'm here with my dear friend. I'm here with a really special human being. He is one of my closest friends and one of the most fascinating characters that I've ever met. Stop doing that. It's gonna keep fucking up on the mic.
Sorry. It's my ADHD kicking in. It's so fun.
Don't be a naughty fucking jellyfish or else.
Okay, sorry.
As you can tell, we have a really playful and loving relationship, and over the years of us connecting more deeply, we have created this bond that really is like the brother-sister relationship that I think we both wanted but never received.
Yeah.
So it's been so fulfilling and beautiful to see how our dynamic as friends continues to change. And I'd love to talk about how we met and what that was like from your perspective and my perspective, and just share this story on how we know each other, because it's a really beautiful story.
Well, we met at the best place on earth, Dankmart. But it's funny because before that, I would obviously see like Olivia on social media just because we were like in the same kind of worlds already. And I used to work at like in the club life at Fortune.
Yeah, and I was hot, so
exactly. So one in that one, equals two. But yeah, I would see her there for like some of the random like fashion shows, modeling, doing the runway shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just funny when I saw her at work. I was like, damn, it's that chick that I would always see. Like, and it was like funny because I was gonna be her manager, and I'm the type where I'm just so bad around pretty women. And I was like, God damn, this is the first person I have to manage. Like, what is this? But yeah, like after a couple shifts, though, that ship flew of like being nervous because I just saw how real Olivia was and how much we just enjoyed each other's times and made each other laugh on shift, because it's such weird times, especially like the pandemic. And yeah, just like how fun it was to like go to work and like see her there and be like, okay, we're gonna conquer this day together, no matter how crazy it gets.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what really built our friendship and just like showed us that we're both real, because like we were put in such weird situations of the time of working and like yeah.
I remember working there. It was, for people that don't know, it's a candy store, but it's the most epic candy store on earth.
Yeah, especially at that time.
And I remember my feeling of working there was literally the feeling of a kid in a candy store.
100%.
That expression just fit perfectly. And every day when I went to work, that's how I felt.
But as an adult.
But yeah, exactly. So it's even better getting to relive our inner childhood dreams and then be that person that's guiding the experience for other people that are having that same experience when they come into the store for the first time.
And the best part too is beside us was a dispensary, so it's like best of both worlds. That's why we really got to feel like adults adult kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, we had the weed. And then, like, when you get, you smoke a little bit, you feel like a kid again. And in this candy store, there's all this bright colors and these labels of things. You're like, oh, this all looks good.
Yeah, and you went crazy with the snacks,
Yeah.
I will say.
Well,
like,
I had to.
No one forced you. Don't make
I
it sound like you were forced to.
I forced myself.
Yeah, you went fucking crazy. I was honestly scared for you.
That's already who I was, though.
Yeah.
I was already like that before, so.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know that, but wow. Yeah. So that's how we met, and then we would always work together. We had shifts together most days, which I was so thankful for because he would always vacuum at the end of the shift when and just was a real one, and so hardworking. So we would always have, but the best part about working together in that type of environment is that the times that I wasn't busy, we had so much opportunity to get into deep conversation, and that is exactly how we started to become so close, and how I started, we just started to see a deeper side of each other and really dive into deep philosophical, spiritual, emotional topics and conversations. And for me, that is so soul nourishing, especially at a time where it was limited human interaction, and most of the world was actually really thirsty for that. And yet I was being so blessed to be abundantly nourished and nurtured by all the beautiful, bright, creative souls that we were surrounded by.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the biggest blessing ever. And that's why, and even now to this day, we're still super close and have remained close throughout that whole time. Like, ebbs and flows, but now we're even closer. So it's really dope.
I think my favorite part about that too was, like, because we worked together so often, we got to know each other's strengths and weaknesses. So that when it came to, like, work, it's not like I would ask you to do something that you didn't like doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I understood, okay, you like to do this.
Yeah.
You like to be here more.
You like to talk and flirt with the customers.
Yeah, exactly. Which is cool. Do that. Do your thing. Make the sales. I'll restock this stuff. I'll carry the heavy stuff.
Yeah, teamwork.
Yeah. So that was, like, I think that's, like, the best part of, like, when you get to work in a close environment, and especially in a place that's, like, feels like it's like a family.
Yeah.
That's what it was like there, So it's like we all cared for each other. We all wanted the best for each other. We could also tell, like, if someone's having an off day, to give them a little love that day, and to just give them a pick-me-up. And, like, I think that's what was really dope about our workspace.
Definitely.
There's the people around us, too, and, like, that showed us more knowledge, and that helped us deepen our knowledge of each other.
Yeah, the thread of Dankmart, everything in life is like dominoes, right? Like one thing, and then it awakens a whole new path.
Yeah.
Dankmart was the thread that pulled me to where I am now, 1,000%. Because without that, I wouldn't have met the people that I met, and wouldn't have been inspired by the people around me. Just kidding.
This is your phone.
No, it's not.
That was my other phone.
Okay, it's fine. None of that would have been possible without Shaw and his love and his energy that was so expansive and really beautiful soul. Yeah.
100%.
Maybe in another video or podcast we'll talk more about that story, because that's also an incredibly mind-blowing, movie-like, heartbreaking, crazy-ass fucking story.
Yeah, I think that's definitely what, like, also brought us closer together as a family and, like, as humans. Especially, like, the people that worked there at the time that were, like, affected and worked with Shaw. How it brought us all a little bit closer after that, in such a profound, like, way.
How I wasn't there when it was the funeral.
Yeah.
And it felt like I was, like, missing something, but at the same time I felt like, holy shit, like, I'm glad I wasn't there. It's a lot of
it would have been heavy for you.
Heavy emotion that I don't know. I didn't have the skills and tools back then to process shit the way that I do now. So I just don't imagine. I mean, I'm sure I would have made it through, obviously, but I think it would have been really hard.
Yeah, for me, it's like that moment really taught me it showed me the tools I did have that I thought I didn't have, and like that I was ready to face and like conquer this depth of emotional pain and like, you know, for whatever it was.
Yeah. Wow.
But
I
yeah,
know he's always watching us.
100%.
You're watching us now. We love you. So let's fast forward to more recent times. So that all happened in 2020 when we met. So it's been
3 years, which is
right?
crazy. It doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, it's been almost
4.
Almost 4.
Yeah, because it started like April.
Yeah.
I remember.
Okay. 420 probably.
Yeah, it's close to 420.
Okay, so fast forward to more present times, and yeah,
I hate her.
Like we mentioned,
I'm annoyed
like
I
mentioned,
she actually pays me to come here. All this is cap. I don't come out of free will. I gotta check every now and then. I think I can afford the hair.
A few months ago, you said something to me that just boosted my ego and also warmed my heart. And so I want to talk about it.
Okay.
You said to me something along the lines of, making you my muse has shifted my whole life. Something along that.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. So please explain what you meant by that.
I just think, in a way, like, for me at least, because I write, a lot of it sometimes, like, when I want to write about, like, women as a whole, I still like to think of one particular woman, you know, so that I can write about it, but then it obtains to all women, in a sense. And so I think that's where it just stemmed from. Every time I'd write about women, I would just, like, think about the love I have for you and how I care for you, and just let that expand on, like, that's how I view all women in a sense, because I think I saw that early on in our friendship, because remember that one, I think I sent it to you, the one poem I wrote, like, to a woman that inspires, was, like, based off of you. And that's when I first learned, like, it was such a beautiful thing, like, I didn't feel attached to it in a way, like, where it's like, you're mine, you know, because usually when I do write about women in a romantic way, it's like I have that attachment to it. But with you, it was more like free feeling of just like, you're the inspiration behind the words. And even when I think about like photography and stuff, I think about like, what would Olivia like to shoot, or what would be good shoot for her or fit her, you know, because I feel like you embody like every woman in a way.
Reminds me of that song.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, I totally understand what you mean, because I do feel that way. I feel like I am me, but I also am an embodiment of all of the divine feminine into one. And the more that I am fully myself and express all the different parts of myself, the more that I am just playing into all the different energies and archetypes of the feminine.
100%.
And I think it's so much healthier to have someone in your life that you have a really close bond with, like with really strong foundational roots, which we have. Consciously make them your muse instead of projecting your fantasies or something onto another woman that maybe you're interested in your life that isn't going to live up to the fantasy that you're projecting onto them, which in turn you feel let down in some way.
100%.
So I know you.
That's what I went through to learn that. So yeah.
And so that was kind of the lesson that, like, obviously there are many lessons you learned through going through that, but I think that was something that at the end of it, the mindset shift or perception shift that you had as well, of like, okay, I went through this lesson, like this is what I'm doing now instead. That's healthier. And
I think too, just because as a creative, we usually like to not go down the healthier path to find our like creations, right? Like you want to go through the worst, shittiest things, put yourself through those situations, even though you know they're bad situations. You still put yourself through that because you hope for like whatever you may pull from it creatively. Yeah. You know, and I think that was just like my old toxic way of thinking as like a creative.
Your inner masochist.
Yeah, whereas now I look at it like, okay, no, I've been through all that pain. I can just draw from that, you know, and like change the scenarios up and whatever, and just like build something else without having to go through it and actually experiencing it. Because that in turn is just like not healthy for me,
Right.
like not good.
Yeah, I heard something recently that someone said, it was like, we want to feel whether it's pleasure or pain. Either way, we want to feel.
Feel it. Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, I totally get what you mean by that. It's like the excitement of the danger is extremely alluring and seductive.
100%.
And sometimes we forget, because I've also been in a situation, as you know, where the exciting, daring thing that seems like, ooh, like, should I do this? And then you do it because you're like, ooh, this exciting feeling is what I'm chasing. But then you forget that that's what you're chasing is just the exciting feeling, and then you get lost into whatever that choice is that you made, where you're fucking drowning in it, and you're like, fucking despair.
No, definitely. And I think too, it comes from just like my personality traits. Like, I have an addictive personality, so it's like I'm addicted to pain, you know, and I crave that pain. So that's why I have so many tattoos. That's why I always put myself through the same types of situations before, even though I've learned from them, because it's like something about that pain is comfort and like reassuring to me, and it makes me feel real and human. But I'm growing out of that now and understanding, like, no, I can still live and be happy and do all these other fulfilling things and still be the human I am, which is a deep emotional person. Where I don't have to live it every fucking day of my life. You know?
Yeah, I remember when I was in art school, you were going through your dark night of the soul.
Yeah.
That's what I called it, at least. I don't know if you resonate with that.
Yeah, I definitely do.
Yeah, because I told you were fucking going through it, and I was like, babe, like, you're going through your dark night of the soul right now. Like, everything's gonna be okay. Like, don't metaphorically jump off the cliff. Like, you know. So I'm so happy that you feel that way now. Like, you know, okay, you recognize that you have a tendency to shift towards pain because that's what you're used to. And I think that's so common for many of us that have
100%.
had painful childhood experiences. We experience extreme discomfort and pain, so that's all we know. And what we know is what feels safe and comfortable, even when in actuality it's not healthy. And so to shift out of that, it's like shifting your nervous system to recognize something different as safe versus the pain as safe. And the basically like being a conscious masochist versus an unconscious masochist. And so that's another thing that I've been interested in lately. We've talked about more now that our relationship is continuing to evolve. Is the interesting dynamics between, like, I would say, like, power dynamics, and what it feels like to surrender power to the feminine, and then also where the masochist bit plays into that in a more conscious way. Have you thought about that? We haven't really talked about this specifically.
I mean, sometimes I do. I think of it more so myself, like why I'm such a masochist, and like why I enjoy the pain and the surrendering, you know. And I think it roots back to like my trauma in a way, because like, you know, I come from I was abused as a child, so I think being able to say yes and surrender to it, like, makes me feel like I'm healing that in a way because I'm allowing it, whereas before as a child, like, I wasn't allowing it, but it was happening. But I think that's what it plays in psychologically.
It's the consent.
Yeah.
I find that to be true for many people I've spoken to. It's like you go through this, you play out the same experience, but with an added layer of consent, conscious choice, and also with someone that is safe, and then they love you. You know, it's like a unconditional love where maybe they are the one that's inflicting the pain, but then at the end of it, it's all done with love.
100%.
That is definitely the recipe for transformative alchemizing experience.
That's how I feel about, like, this is like weird, but like with tattoo artists, I feel like some artists, you can tell when they're giving you the love in their art, you know what I mean? Because then the needle doesn't hurt as much. And then some artists, you can tell when they're doing it, they're just doing it for the money. Because the type of pain you feel, like, you can just tell there's there's something else.
Yeah, the
Like,
energy that they're putting into
exactly.
it. Oh,
And it's something that I haven't noticed. I didn't notice till recently.
yeah.
And then like once I noticed it, I was like, whoa, that's so crazy. I'm like, maybe that's why it doesn't hurt as much anymore, because I'm just like, I've gone to this artist for so many years. I have this trust built with them. You know what I mean? Like, I know they're not gonna hurt me, compared to when I go to a new artist and I don't really know them.
Right.
And it's like, why does this feel so much more painful? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is that safety.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes it's safety on a level that we don't even think about.
Yeah, but our body.
Exactly. Our bodies feel like, okay, when it's it's the exact same. Like anyone, if you're a woman watching this and you either go get your nails done or your eyelashes or any type of, or a massage even.
Yeah.
When you go to someone that is doing your nails, for example, and it's new, like for me, I'm like watching their every move, super on edge. Like, how are they filing this nail? Are they getting it on the side? Like, are they? And then, but if it's someone I've been to regularly, it's just like, okay, I'm relaxed. I can enjoy.
Yeah.
I can just surrender.
Yeah.
And that
You can let loose. You can talk to her.
Makes it a completely different experience. I have so much respect for service providers.
Yeah.
And artists.
Yeah.
And artists that are service providers.
Yeah.
Because they're really giving so much of themselves.
100%.
To
every day.
Feel safe and have a positive experience.
Which is very important.
Mm-hmm. So you have a lot of tattoos, like as we know. Can I see? Can you show some of them? Like
some of them.
Is this the Amy Winehouse one?
Yeah.
What does it say? Tears
dry on their own.
How do you come up with a concept for a tattoo?
I either have just the ideas already in my head, or I see something that an artist I follow post for their flash, or like they'll post something similar on their like art page or whatever, but yo, can we do something like this? And then we just go from there. Or just movies I love, you know, shows, animes.
Yeah.
The ideas are endless.
They are. What are you gonna do when you
I don't know. Start erasing some?
I'm surprised you don't have. Would you get a neck tattoo?
I want to, but I'm just so like ticklish. I just like can't imagine someone like here with a needle.
I think
drawing something for a while. And I'd just be like,
I think intentional. Beautiful, crafted neck tattoos on men are so attractive.
All right, I'm gonna go. I'm going right now. Let me call my tattoo artist.
Yeah, I'm serious though.
I know, me too though. I feel you, even like men and women.
Yeah.
I find. Has to be the right type though. Sometimes when some people get too much like black done, and it's like it doesn't look good.
Yeah, it has to be still elegant and classy and beautifully crafted with intention.
Yeah. And shaped well with the neck.
Yeah, but I'm like, yeah.
For you guys out there trying to get her attention, you see all these guys sending you neck
pics. I'm like, alright. Neck pics are better than dick pics. This has been a lovely conversation.
Yeah, like always.
Yeah, like always. Should we continue the conversation somewhere else?
I'm down.
Okay. Let's have a change.
Okay.
Let's go.
Certified organic by Coconut Union. How did I become a part of this union? So I have to be coconuts.
I wonder if you would see a make back to reality.
Woke up.
First dream was cool.